The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for weekly purchases, that time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via Amazon, DHL, United States Postal Service, UPS, FedEx, and of course, that old outlaw Waylon Jennings. We also wrap it up into the ball with all the toy news, the action figure news of the week, and we do call this weekly purchases, and we always start weekly purchases off with a recap of the week that was, and it was a very interesting week, as they always are on the channel. A lot going on, a lot of videos on the channel this week, about 3 videos every single day. That's why it's so important to hit the old notification bell when you subscribe. As I get, not every video is for everybody, but a lot of people are reaching out to me and saying, hey, are you ever going to do this? Well, you missed that 4 days ago. You missed that a week ago. Things move pretty quick, and if you're not on the ball, you're going to miss some of those videos. So hit the notification, that way it'll pop up, and you can say, oh, it's for me, or it's not for me, or whatever, and go about your business. But this week, wrestling overload, a ton of wrestling figure videos, unboxing a ton of stuff via Ringside Collectibles, a lot of stuff coming in early, a lot of stuff coming in all at once, and of course, Ringside, use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. But this week, we unboxed Elite 96, we finished up that one. We ranked the entire wave as we usually do. We're in the middle of unboxing Elite Series 97. We'll have those as well, and all this stuff is up on the Patreon much earlier, of course. You can get all of Elite 97 on Patreon already if you're into that kind of thing. Top Picks, the brand new Top Picks wave is up on Patreon as well. We'll get to it all eventually on traditional YouTube. It's just going to take some time. But we unboxed Elite 96. We started in on Elite 97. We finished up the Survivor Series Elites. Just a heck of a lot of wrestling to go, and more wrestling to come in the next week, as it does sound like the AEW Jazzwares, the next set of, is it Unmatched? Unmatched, I believe, is coming up next. We also have the Ultimate Edition Brock Lesnar, Ultimate Edition Ultimate Warrior. Should be both in my hands here in the next couple of days. We'll start in on those, and of course, as usual, early access for those videos on the Patreon. Some other wrestling or non-wrestling stuff this week. Masters of the Universe Origins, Grizzlor, the Mattel Creations came through. We unboxed that on the channel. Super 7 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Ultimate Edition Cobra Bat. First look at the new G.I. Joe line from Super 7. A little head issues there with a little wobbly head. The second one I opened, perfect. No issues with the head or anything, so I guess your mileage may vary on those a little bit. We also unboxed the first figure from the Archie wave of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line, as we unboxed Slash here on the channel, so check that one out. Amazing Spider-Man from the 60th Anniversary Marvel Legends Spider-Man wave. We unboxed that one this week. Of course, our Tuesday tradition, Jack's Classic Superstars. Got a little Terry Funk action this week, so check out the Jack's Classic Superstars videos every single Tuesday for well over 2 years on the channel. We got those going on. We did a top 5 as we do every single Thursday. The top 5 toy lines I think that we might see in 2023, or we might see some representation from in 2023. So you check out that one. 5 lines I would like to see in 2023. So there you go. Also, my dad came back to the channel. It's been a while since my dad's been over here, but we, of course, got the starting lineup. Pre-orders went up. A lot of crazy starting lineup madness this week. If you're a starting lineup fan, if you're an NBA fan especially. But I brought my dad onto the channel, as my dad, like I collect wrestling figures and all the figures I collect, my dad collected starting lineups like that back in the day. We would go to conventions, all kind of stuff. So he was a hardcore top guy, I guess you'd say, in the starting lineup fan base back then. So I wanted to get his opinion, and we break down all the starting lineup stuff in that very video. So join me and my dad and check out all the thoughts on that one. Love to hear your guys' comments in the comments section of that video. But check out the starting lineup talk. And then, of course, the weekly figure hunt every single Friday. We're hunting for figures, and it was an interesting week out on the hunt this week. Also went to a G.I. Joe movie, a fan movie that got a world premiere. Sounds like it will be coming to streaming eventually, so stay tuned for that. Starring Midwest Wrestling legend Gage Octane as Shipwreck. Yes, it's true. But check out that video. I even posted a little clip from the movie in that very video. So a lot going on in the figure hunt, as there usually is. So very, very interesting week here on the channel. A lot going on and a lot to come soon for the next couple of weeks. I got some travels ahead of me Next week, I'm staying in town. Luckily, I got some meetings. I got some work dinners and functions and things like that. But the next week, I am headed to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It times in pretty good. I think I'm going to go to the Iron Maiden concert up there in Sioux Falls. So if you see me around at the Iron Maiden show, say hi. But Iron Maiden, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, I think that's October 3rd. I'll be up that way for that, so I'm excited to see Iron Maiden for like the 15th time or whatever it's been in my life. So very excited to see that. And then I'll have some travels to Wisconsin, Minnesota, and all points in between, really, in the next few weeks. Let's dive into some stuff. Of course, better plug this right away. We got Spirit. We got Bobby Lashley. These are the September giveaways over on the Patreon. I will have a Patreon-exclusive Q&A video up this weekend as well. A lot of exclusive content on the Patreon, a lot of bonus content, exclusive content, monthly giveaways like this. All on the Patreon, and best of all, as I always say, you do support the channel. But these two will be given away at the end of the month, so I wanted to plug that. I got about, 2 weeks till the end of the month? Something like that. So get in on Spirit, get in on Bobby Lashley. But let's kick it off. Let's talk all the toy news of the week, and then we'll get into a very big weekly purchases back half with a few Grail items picked up this week. Some things I've been playing that extra long game on. Last week there was that Abyss. We got something else really cool this week, so stay tuned for that. But we talked starting lineups just a little bit ago. Starting lineups are back. Check out that video with my dad. Now, there is ways, and I always say it on the channel here, gotta get a deal. You gotta get a deal, and people have already found out how to get a deal on some of these starting lineup figures. So that's good news for some of you guys that are saying, hey, these were $30. Maybe I would jump in. Sounds like you're going to have an opportunity now as Fanatics. I guess that's who the partnership is with this. And I think you can even go to Lids and buy these figures too, is what I've been told. I don't know. But Fanatics has a coupon code with Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, I gotta be honest, Dr. Pepper and root beer are probably my least favorite sodas in the world. I'm just not a fan of those. I don't know what it is. I don't like root beer. I don't like Dr. Pepper. Get Mr. Pibb out of here. Don't want anything to do with them. But apparently, there's a Fanatics discount code with Dr. Pepper. You buy a Dr. Pepper, you get a code or whatever. You can use these on these starting lineup figures to knock the price down. I think it's something like saving 30%, so got to get a deal all day long. That might make some of you guys on the fence jump into those starting lineups. And they're not going to be for everybody. They're not for me. But man, if you enjoy them, you want them, go after them. That's the good thing. As I always say on the channel here, we vote with our wallets, and it'll be interesting to see where this starting lineup brand goes. It'll be interesting what happens when they go on from the NBA, who they go with, and will we ever get legends? A lot of discussion topics on those in the future. So there's that. Then this week, let's start into some wrestling news. How about we start with some Zombie Sailor? He did show a picture of Andre the Giant. We've seen this before, but he's given us some new pictures, some new images. They showed a great picture of him standing next to King Kong Bundy that'll also be in the same wave of Series 2. I did ask the question, does Andre being so much bigger equal more cost, actually more expensive for the consumer? He liked it. He didn't say yes or no, but I have a feeling Andre the Giant's going to be a little bit more expensive than the other guys in the wave. Very similar to how Super 7's been doing that recently as well, is my guess there. But very good looking Andre the Giant, if that is your thing. The King Kong Bundy looks really good as well. But he also gave a little bit of a tease. It sounds like we are getting the LOD, the Road Warriors from Zombie Sailor. You know me, sign me up all day long. Face paint, the Legion of Doom, man, I'm all in on this. Interesting that we're getting them from Zombie when they've already been announced as coming from Cella as well. I guess that's not unheard of. That's not unheard of in this retro world we're in right now with the Greg Valentine coming from Cella and then also coming from Mattel. But it looks like some more LOD figures. Man, there's got to be a way to get us some Elite-style LOD figures. Somebody needs to pick up that slack. Storm Collectibles, somebody, Super 7, somebody sign the Road Warriors. Let's get that done. If Mattel can't do it, somebody else has to do it. But it looks like Zombie Sailor is jumping in on that one. Rush Collectibles, we talk about them about every single week, it seems like as well. An interesting company is they just keep showing us stuff, but nothing has been at the table yet. Nothing at all. They need to slow their roll a little bit. Cella has slowed it down a little bit as well, but Rush really needs to, because until we get some product in hand, you keep delivering this stuff, saying, oh, here's who's coming, but nothing comes. You forget about all these things. I got 50 announcements. You can't remember them all with a bunch of other companies doing the same thing. I get trying to get your name out there on a regular basis, so we'll see what happens. But Rush this week came through with some more ECW style or original San Francisco toy maker knockoff figures, whatever you want to call them. From Rush Collectibles, it looks like we got a tease for Sign Guy Dudley. That's going to go great with Joel Gertner. Of course, we got the Dudley boys. Will we get a Spike Dudley out of this? That would be an interesting one, but we're filling out the Dudley clan. Give me Dances with Dudley. That's the one I want. We also are getting Simon Diamond, so another ECW guy. More towards the end of the ECW run, but definitely an ECW guy, Simon Diamond, so he's coming to Rush Collectibles as well. So some interesting stuff. And we also saw Friday, Super 7 post a little teaser pic. I would assume that means next week they will go out for pre-order. But the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, we're getting a second round of their figures, much like we got Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. We'll see how this goes. I don't see those last two really setting the world on fire. You can get those actually at discount at many retailers like Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. You can get a discount on those. So I don't know. I think they're going to be made in less supply for sure than the first round. We'll just see how many people want another set of the Good Brothers. I don't know if there's that many people, but like I said, we got to vote with our wallets. That's what's going to happen. How about a little Marvel Legend talk this week? We did hear that some Targets are already getting the Ironheart Wakanda Forever Deluxe figure. So we got that, saw on the pegs before it was officially announced, which is always cool. It brings you back to the old days. I love it when stuff like that happens. We'll see on this one. I'm guessing it's probably a $40 price tag. This is one of those ones, probably a long game item you wait for the discount on. And there's going to be a lot of Target discounts, as I've said in previous videos. If we can be patient, play some of that long game around the holidays. There's not as much money to go around. Target, Walmart, they understand that. There's going to be some deals to be had. So if you want this, probably patience is a virtue on this one. We also saw that Meijer stores are getting the Wakanda Forever wave of Marvel Legends. So Meijer, if you're getting your groceries, check on over, see if you got some of that. That's more of a Michigan, Ohio, Illinois regional grocer. But big stores over there. So if you're looking for Wakanda Forever, you might be able to pick those up. I think they're $22.99 at Meijer. They should be coming from Amazon here in the next week, 2 weeks, something like that as well. So if you're on the lookout for the Wakanda Forever figures, your time is coming very soon. Of course, the HasLab. We all know that we had to get 9,000 subscribers by end of day Friday. Still got 12 hours as I'm filming this. But for all intents and purposes, doesn't look like we're going to get the Robbie Reyes early bird figure. That wasn't enough for the people to pull the trigger to get there. We talked about it a little bit more in depth last week, but I wish a lot of people that were on the fence would have just backed it to guarantee us getting this figure. And guess what? You want to cancel 2 weeks from now? You can cancel. But shame on anybody that backs this thing after Friday, because why? Even if you don't like Robbie Reyes, even if you don't like the figure, why wouldn't you back it so you can get a chance at getting it? Hey, you don't want it? Guess what? You can sell it for $50, get some of your money back. And I get it. We vote with our wallets, all that kind of stuff, like I say. But if you're on the fence, what's it hurt? You can always cancel. Might as well get us to the 9,000. And who knows? A miracle could happen in the next 12 hours. I don't know. But it's not looking good for this Ghost Rider HasLab project. I do still think it will squeak over the edge once all things are said and done. But it's one of those things. We're voting with our wallet. That should be the theme and title of this episode. People aren't wanting it. But the thing that I hate to see, and we see this with all these HasLabs, is there's so many people that are arguing and rooting against this to succeed. They don't want to see the HasLab succeed. And I get it. Hey, it's not for me. But I'm not going to post every single day. I'm not going to post every couple of days. Oh, look at this. It's only at this. It's not going to make it. Oh, why? Why waste your time doing that? Why send that negative energy into the stratosphere or whatever? I just lay it low. But, you know, that's the internet. It's the vocal minority, of course. But it is crazy. Why root against something like that, rooting against it? If it's not for you, just to watch it from afar or don't watch it at all, you would think. But there's so many people that root against these things. And it's always very, very strange to me. But it is what it is. We did hear about Mephisto is going to be the first tier unlock. I know that makes a lot of people happy. And a guy like Mephisto, and I think some of the other tier unlock guys, are guys that Hasbro won't sell at store level. You're not going to see at Walmart and Target because Satan, the devil, whatever we want to call him, sometimes Target doesn't want to sell those things in the toy action figure aisle. So this could be our only chance at Mephisto. There's rumors there's going to be Blackheart. Who knows what else could come with this one, but it doesn't look like we're going to get too far. I mean, we might get Mephisto. I guess we'll see what happens. More to come on this HasLab, as we do know it expires October 31st on Halloween. How fitting. So much more to come on the HasLab project. Continuing on with a little Hasbro action this week, of course, Star Wars. Star Wars Black Series, a line we love, and sometimes we love to hate. You guys know me, I'm trying to play the long game on more Star Wars stuff, trying to get the deals out there. Something always has to give with this inflation and all this product that's coming our way. For me, Star Wars is one of those ones I'm going to start picking and choosing. I'm going to wait for the inevitable clearances or deals or sales on some of these things. But we did see, coming October 6th, and I guess this is going to be part of the Walmart Collector Con event that is coming. We've had these in the past. But there is going to be a Wookie, yes, a Wookie, a Halloween Wookie. This is a day one purchase for me. You guys know I love Wookiees. I love hairy bipedal creatures. I love Halloween. So I got to pick up this Wookie here, and it will be a Walmart exclusive, it sounds like. I believe Target, all these retailers, Amazon, Target, Walmart, they're all getting their Halloween edition Star Wars Black Series figure. But we did get some packages. Plastic-free packaging, of course, on this one, as you can see in the picture. So interesting to get another Wookie into the lineup. Building that Wookie army. And they can even go trick-or-treating if you need them, too. We also saw Amazon exclusive, $66.99. Holy cow, not a deal at all. It is The Mandalorian and Ahsoka 2-pack with Grogu as well. Feels about as far away from a deal as you can get. I mean, it is reuse city with a couple of extra accessories to make it a little different. Man, I am out on this one. I will play the long game. I'll wait for a Thanksgiving era sale, Black Friday sale I should call it, or a Christmas sale. I gotta think this one isn't gonna light the world on fire. You never know though. Things happen sometimes that are least expected. Maybe it will. Maybe it'll sell out and it'll never come back. But I gotta think you'll be able to find this thing. Maybe we'll be able to get it for $40 here in a couple of months. And that's my plan here. Just not enough meat on the bone for me at $66.99. But Star Wars diehards, Mandalorian diehards, I can see them jumping on this one. Or people that didn't get the last incarnations, you want just a one-off set. Hey, there you go. You just built your world real quickly in one fell swoop right there. It could be for somebody like that. So interesting there. Got to vote with our wallets. Once again, it is the theme of this episode. Hasbro PulseCon coming September 30th, October 1st. Panels, all kinds of stuff. That is next weekend. We will do some recaps. Maybe we'll do a recap video on Sunday after everything is done for Sunday night. I'm very excited about the G.I. Joe one, of course. Star Wars, always interesting to me. Marvel Legends, always interesting to me. There's Indiana Jones figures going to be announced. Not going to be for me, but I'll check those ones out. Power Rangers, what monsters will we get? I'm anxious to find that out. Nerf, I don't care about. There's a couple other properties. I think Fortnite. I dabble in the Fortnite. I'll get a deal every once in a while, but that doesn't set my world on fire, as we know. So it'll be interesting. We'll get some new toy news next weekend, so look for that video probably a week from Sunday. More to come on that. Looking at a few other things, Saturday, or I should say more like Friday. Friday, the Target, every single Friday the last couple of weeks, they've had some new figures. They've shown up there. Some things popped up on Target's website. Barbecue and Roadblock from Cobra Island. I don't know why those are on there. I don't think a lot of people are looking for those at this point in time. It's about a year late for those. One thing that did catch my eye on here was Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons, Kyle knows absolutely nothing about. Never played the game, never saw the animated series, never seen any movies. I don't know anything about it. I know absolutely nothing about it. But Dungeons & Dragons are getting figures, but they're 6-inch scaled retro figures from the old school toy line from like 83, I want to say. It might have even been an LJN toy line if I remember right. But we are getting figures from them. I don't know if they're Target exclusive or if Target's just getting the jump on everybody else. But really cool to not hear anything about these, and seeing these for the first time is always fun. But the thing that caught my eye, and the reason I'm talking about this in this very video is, did you notice the packaging for these? Retro card backs with plastic-free packaging. Is that going to be the wave of the future for some of these Marvel Legends, Star Wars, some of the other ones that utilize this kind of packaging? I don't know when it's going to happen, but they're showing us at Hasbro, this is the way it's going to do. This is the way it's going to be done. Very much like Fortnite really set the precedent for what's to come in the future with that packaging style. Maybe we're seeing the same thing with the card backs here. So I guess that's something to keep an eye on, something to take notice of, and we'll see what the future holds for all that stuff. Last thing we got, or last couple of things we have this week, is Big Bad Toy Store, use the link in the description below, as I always say. We do have House of a Thousand Corpses figures come. Now, we got Captain Spaulding about 6 months ago, 8 months ago, whatever it's been. We unboxed that Captain Spaulding here on the channel. Check out that video if you missed it. As you guys know, my favorite movie of all time is The Devil's Rejects. I do like House of a Thousand Corpses a lot, just not as much as Devil's Rejects. But we are getting a House of a Thousand Corpses toy line from Trick or Treat Studios, I believe it is. They are up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. I'll be picking up all those. I've talked about my love for those figures, or I should say House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil Reject figures from NECA back in the day. I guess I'm going to start my collection all over again right here. And then Super 7 came through this week with some old school horror Ultimate Edition. So we got Mattel the Mutant. Now this is an interesting one. This is something I've seen since I was a little kid. I've always seen images, posters, things of this, but I don't know what movie it's from. I've never seen the movie for it, but it is very, very familiar. I don't think I'll pick this one up. This could be one of those long game ones I grab off Entertainment Earth, using discount code Kyle to save 10% when it comes in stock. Then it might go down to like $35, use the 10% off and pick this up because it is a cool looking figure. I just don't have a lot of knowledge of it at all. And then the other one they announced is really, really cool. It's Nosferatu. Very, very creepy. The oldest Dracula movie, the first vampire movie, really. It is celebrating its 100th year anniversary this year. It's a 100-year-old movie, and we're getting an Ultimate Edition of Nosferatu. Count Orlak or Orko, whatever it is. Orko from He-Man. Before he was in He-Man, he was a vampire. I think that's how it went. But that is pretty cool. I'm actually thinking if my work schedules align, in town here, they're playing that movie, the Nosferatu movie, and a live band is making a soundtrack. They're a touring band, I think, out of Austin. I forget their name off the top of my head. But I'm thinking about going to that one. They're very similar to Mr. Mungle, I've heard. So, my ears perked up when I heard that. But very cool. I will be getting that Nosferatu figure eventually. It just looks too cool to pass up. And it might fit good with some of the Dracula Universal Monster shelf display I'll have eventually. So there you go. That's the toy news of this week. Of course, next up, Album of the Week. Album of the Week this week, I told you last week, it's always like, hey, I'm going to tell you what it is. Next week, going to be Iron Fist from Motorhead. The re-release comes out today as I'm filming. Haven't had to check out the remastered, re-released version, all the extras, the live show, all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited for some new Motorhead for sure. But this week, my other favorite band, my favorite touring band, my favorite band that's been around a long time, that I've been following for a really long time, has a new album. The band is Clutch. Sunrise on Slaughter Beach. I'm going to see Clutch here in a couple weeks. It'll be the second time I've got to see him this year, so I'm happy about that. But Clutch is coming to town, but Clutch is coming in with a new album. I've never seen a Clutch album in the 25 years or so I've been following Clutch that has split the audience. A lot of fans are not really feeling this album. Some fans absolutely love it. I'm somewhere in the middle. I see both sides of the fence on this. I really do like it. Some Clutch is better than no Clutch for me. A lot of good songs on this, but some kind of paint-by-number Clutch stuff on there as well. So it didn't really grab me as much as a lot of their other albums in the past. So many good albums in the past, and that's tough to compete with some of your great albums you've had for 20 years in your catalog. But still an album, if you like Clutch, if you even remotely like Clutch, I think it's worth checking out. You got to check out these new bands, albums. You got to support the cause, and I'm supporting Clutch and whatever they do. And like I said, I'll be going to see them on like October 14th, I think it is, the concert. So I'm excited for some new Clutch music. That is definitely the album of the week for me. So without further ado, let's get after it. Let's get down to the weekly purchases. All right, let's get down to it. We got a big week of weekly purchases, so let's not waste any time with that old jibber-jabber like a young Mr. T. And let's check it off. And first thing first, a Grail item last week. I've been searching for that Abyss figure for about 3 years. This one, very similar. I've been searching for this for a heck of a long time. Finally found it. It is the Beyond the Mat Japanese exclusive box set. This does come with a t-shirt, does come with some knickknacks, does come with a DVD edition of the movie, of course, but the thing I wanted the most out of this was the exclusive Terry Funk figure. Very cool. It is a Char Pro Terry Funk. Now, I'm thinking about unboxing this. Maybe we'll unbox this on the channel, but I don't think I could pull the trigger on the Terry Funk. I don't think I could take it out of the package. It's just too rare, too special of an item. If I could track down another one of these, maybe I would do that. But I guess sound off in the comments below if you want to see me go through the contents of this box set. But very cool. It is such a great feeling when you get a swipe and delete Mercari eBay save listing. That's what I got to do with this. That's what I got to do with Abyss last week. Knocking some of those pieces I've been waiting years to try to find at a good price. Very happy to have this done. The old Beyond the Mat Japanese box set. So very cool there. This week, unfortunately, I did not get the deal I was hoping for. Got to get a deal. That is, vote with our wallet. Got to get a deal is the theme of this episode of Weekly Purchases. But got to get a deal on the Hulkster Ultimate Edition. Of course, I got this for $23.99, $23.09, whatever it was. Unfortunately, I could not find a $16.99 Hulkster. Every single Target but two of mine, they went to $16.99, but man, they sold out very quickly. Mr. T still hanging on at full price. Got to get another Mr. T as well eventually. But I said, you know what? The Target by my house has two of these at $23.09. I probably better pull the trigger. The other Target in town has like four, and they are still full price. I'm just not going to risk it. I'm going to go with this. Picked it up for $23.09. Not the deal I wanted, but still a deal on the Hulkster. Hopefully I can get Mr. T at a really good cost here in the next few weeks. We'll see what happens. How about some Lucy stuff, of course? Check out the Patreon for early access to these videos. Some of these have been up on YouTube already, but we got Chainsaw Charlie from 97. We got Sheamus from Elite 97. We got the Chase edition of King Woods from 97. We got Alexa Bliss from Series 97. We got Ronda Rousey from Series 97. Who else we got? We got Omos from Series 97. I'll always love a giant figure. You guys know that. We got those guys. We also got a few top picks in Seth Rollins. We got Rey Mysterio. And we got the new Roman Reigns top picks. And then we got the regular edition King Woods from 97. So we got some Lucy's here. Of course, they didn't start out as Lucy's. We unboxed them early on in the week. Like I said, every single one of these, their videos are up on Patreon. That's one of the beauties of the Patreon. I can get this stuff out really early. We'll start working through these over the next week, trying to get these all unboxed on the traditional YouTube channel. But like I said, early access, check out the Patreon, link in the description below. We got all these via Ringside this week. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal all day long. How about a little pop? I don't buy a lot of pop vinyls, and we got another one to come in this very video as well. But this went up for like $4.60 on Amazon, Jerry the King Lawler. I said $4.60 shipped. You know what? I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to pick up this Jerry Lawler. I'm not sure exactly what I'll do with it, but I am picking it up for $4.60. So I got Lawler pop vinyl this week. Continuing on with some wrestling, I did get a few other things from Ringside Collectibles. I got 2 more packs of clear stands. I use these especially for my Masters Universe Origins figures. So I got 2 packs of stands this week. And then I ended up getting another set of the Kane Ultimate Edition head and arms, the corrected ones. If you guys don't know, originally the Kane had some messed up parts on him. Well, Mattel had these. You could get them for free with your receipt. Or Ringside has these for 99 cents. Well, I have a mint on card Kane. That is the old edition. I figured, you know what? I should get one of these just to have in case I ever want to open it or I sell it. I can throw this in, whatever. For 99 cents, I really couldn't pass that up. I just added it onto my order. So there you go. Got a little Kane action. How about Shop AEW exclusive Sheeta? Got her through the mail this week, of course, from Pro Wrestling Tees. Probably the worst exclusive so far from the Pro Wrestling Tees set. I think you could still get her on Pro Wrestling Tees. She is a Chase edition, is limited to 1 of 3,000, and this makes 5 weeks in a row I've received an AEW Chase, if you're keeping track at home. I don't know if week 6 is going to work so well, but I did get Sheeta this week. Cool enough for what it is, but why they didn't put the shirt on her, I have no idea. That was a massive fail by the Jazzwares team, but it is what it is. I did get Sheeta through the door this week. A few other things here, a little more wrestling stuff. I did, in a weak moment, I picked this up, not sure why, but for under $10 at Walmart, I said, what the heck. Dominic Mysterio basic figure. This is a good looking basic. We'll probably do a basic unboxing here in the channel in the next month or so. We'll unbox a bunch of basics. We'll throw this one in. But got Dominic Mysterio from Series 129. Also got The Undertaker, Jakks Classic Superstars, 1 of 3,000 edition with the real fur beard on this Undertaker. So I did get this Undertaker loose. I do have one as part of our weekly Jakks videos we're doing that I was going to unbox, but then I looked that it's selling from anywhere from $150 to $200 in the package, and I got this for well under $100. I said, you know what? I'm probably just going to buy a loose one, and I'll sell my mint on card one. So if anybody, Patreon gets first dibs, of course, but I will have an Undertaker 1 of 3,000 for sale. We'll have to get rid of that because I have a loose one now. I don't have another use for 2 mint on card ones. I just need 1. So the Undertaker through the door this week, and I'm going to try to do that some more with some of these classics that it pains me to unbox them. You guys know that. So there you go right there. Via Amazon this week, G.I. Joe Classified Blue Ninjas 2-pack. We unboxed this on the channel already, so check out the video on it. But a very cool pack and much better than expected, I will say that. Check out the video. But this did come from Amazon this week as well, as it falls off the table. Yeah, that's the way it goes. I did find this at Walmart this week if you're checking out my figure hunt videos. Got old Shazam.
Shazam! Shazam! Shazam!
Shazam, old Gomer Pyle style. Love me some Shazam. This really does feel like the Super Friends days a little bit, and I'm all in on McFarlane if they give us Kyle's version of the classic outfits of some of these guys, and that's where Shazam sticks in. I believe this is a Walmart exclusive, so be checking your Walmarts for old Shazam. I talked about pop vinyls. I got this for GameStop for $10. Iron Maiden, Power Slave. How cool is this? Had to pick this one up. One of these days I'll get those Ozzy ones, but I did get this one for $10. Got to get a deal all day long. Like I said, I'll be seeing Iron Maiden for like the 15th time in the next couple of weeks, so I guess I'm pre-gaming is what we're doing right there. And then finally, I finally did it. I finally pulled the rabbit out of my hat. I finally found Mandrake the Magician at Target. I just needed this magician. I don't know a whole lot about him. And then I did end up picking up Lothar as well. I guess that's his servant. What's up with that? I don't know why a magician has a servant that looks like Roadblock, but it is what it is, but I had to get these. I just had to get them. And sometimes you don't know anything really about the characters, but the coolness factor of having a magician in your collection, had to pick it up, had to do it. So I got some Defenders of the Earth figures this week. So that's round 1 of weekly purchases. Let's kick off round number 2. All right, we continue on with round 2 of weekly purchases, and round 2 is going to kick off with a little UFC. Ah, yes, Throwback City UFC Jax line back in the day with my favorite fighter of all time, Bas Rutten. I don't talk a ton about Bas Rutten here, but one of the most inspiring individuals of all time, my favorite MMA fighter of all time, the greatest of all time, is Bas Rutten. Absolutely love everything about Bas Rutten. Just one of the all-time greats in combat sports. He's right up there with the Terry Funks and Ultimate Warriors as far as I'm concerned. Now, I do have this mint in box already. I've always wanted a loose one, but I didn't want to pay $60, $70 for one of these to get loose, and I kicked myself for back in the day only being on card collector of these and never getting a loose one. Well, I righted that wrong as I swooped in with a little eBay action this week. I got a Bas Rutten to unbox. So we might unbox this on the channel even. Absolutely love me some Bas Rutten. More Bas Rutten figures. I don't care how we have to do it. If he would have been a professional wrestler, he could have very well been the greatest of all time. Now, he did dabble in New Japan just very briefly, but man, love, love, love Bas Rutten. So happy to have this in the collection to unbox. So stay tuned for that one. How about some sets I never thought I would see, but if you saw my figure hunt, found them at Walmart finally this week. The Secret of the Ooze 2-packs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A lot of areas have been getting these for months now, but for some reason my area has not received these, except one Walmart finally got them this week. So I did jump in there, grabbed both of these new 2-packs. Very happy to have these off the list. I'm pretty sure I ordered the 4-pack, the special one from NECA that's coming first of 2023 in like a VHS style pack. What I'm thinking is there is an accessory set. I might use the accessory set on that one to make these figures a little bit different so I can display them differently, things like that. But got both of these. Now I'm still on the search for the Shredder. Hopefully I find him next week. We'll see what happens. We talked about this a little earlier. We did unbox him on the channel. I did get my multiple Grizzlors in this week. I got my loose one, got my min and box one. So I got Grizzlor here. Very happy to have him. Love me a hairy bipedal creature, as you guys know. So Grizzlor, we unboxed him on the channel, like I said. Then got to get a deal all day long. Check your Targets. My Target dropped this down to $6.99. I said, I don't really need this. I'm not sure why I got this. But $6.99, it just felt like a heck of a deal when they were $20 at one time, as we know. I might just give this away on the Patreon one of these days, so stay tuned for that, you Patreon members. We'll probably do that as a giveaway sometime before the end of the year, I'm sure. So we got that, and then that's not it. We're going to finish up weekly purchases this week, a very expensive weekly purchases week. with the little Masters of the Universe 40th Anniversary Mattel Creations 4-pack. A very, very cool pack here. Of course, we talked last week, weekly purchases, about this. Not really selling like Mattel want this to, as this is still up for pre-order, much like Sheeta is still up for pre-order, or I shouldn't even say pre-order, up for order, shipping immediately. A very, very cool pack, but to me, breaking down the math, doing the business, talk to myself, this felt about $25 to $30 more expensive than it should be, and I think the consumer is once again voting with their wallets out there, and they are passing on this. But not old Kyle. Kyle had to have it, of course, and Kyle, crazily enough, had to have 2 of these apparently. So I got a mint on card one and a loose one. I don't know. Sometimes I do crazy stuff, and I would say this is pretty crazy. But it looks like a cool set. We'll unbox it on the channel. We'll get that up probably this weekend on Patreon with a lot of this stuff as well. But it's an interesting set, just a little bit too pricey. Kyle didn't vote with his wallet because you're never going to get a deal on this, at least that I've ever seen from Mattel Creations. So it is what it is, but I'm hoping for the future. I hope they don't say, hey, we'll make them the same price, we're just going to make less. I hope it's not that case. I hope it is, hey, we need to drop down the price a little bit. We got to get this a little bit more economical. We'll see what happens. I guess stay tuned for that. But that's weekly purchases this week. What did you guys pick up? Did you get anything good this week? Any good pickups out there in the stores? Anything you grabbed offline? Let me know in the comments down below, and then comment on anything you saw in this very video as well. Don't forget to like this video. You made it this far, you might as well. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. Don't forget about the Patreon, as you can get early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, monthly Q&As, pizza reviews. There's a lot of content over there on the Patreon. And best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget about social media. SirPaul64 over there on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And then that's it. Yeah, that's all we got this week in weekly purchases. I hope you guys did enjoy. And you know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into the weekend. I'll see you guys all real soon.